lounging, son.
Welcome back to the Comic Lounge. My name is Ryan. Got my boy Eli with me.
What up?
We're talking some Turtles again, but taking a little bit of a break. I guess not a break. I guess it depends on when these post, but we're going to just sprinkle in some, Turtles comics in between us doing our read through of issue or volume 4, rather. We're going to have a series of episodes that are kind of tied into what we've been talking about in volume 4. This is one of those issues. We mentioned it in multiple episodes of going through volume 4. These are some of the characters that you see in there, like Stainless Steel Steve, Metalhead, and it was always one of my favorite issues from the Turtles original Mirage run. So
yes.
Very stoked to go through it.
Yeah, and it all starts on the cover, which is like kind of the first callback or like maybe homage cover that the Turtles did, I guess, other than issue 1, which is an homage to Frank Miller. But I mean, this is truly like an old school comics homage.
Yeah, I know. I mean, even like the creases, the tape, like all these little aesthetics that they added into it, like the torn page here that
Amazing. Like the coffee stain.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
What's funny too is it's not the book inside.
Oh, like you're right. Yeah.
Like it's something different.
Oh,
but either way, it's still good.
They didn't have it like ready at that point. That's funny. Yeah, this is a great issue.
I love this cover too. I just think it's funny too. And we're gonna see here. We'll talk briefly about it because it's gonna be talked about again in the back. But the turtle tracks in this issue, kind of reminiscent of where Peter ends up about 25 years later. Yeah, no, 15 years later. I'm sorry, 15 years later, because it's 88. So 15 years later, he's got a little bit of similarities going on. People sending in letters complaining about the book.
Where is it coming from? Why is it taking so long?
Don't like the direction that it's going. Like, I want this hardcover, by the way. I wish I could get it. I know it's a lot of money, but they're talking about how people are saying that they were just collecting money and had no intentions of shipping them the book. Yes. It's like, it's fucking what, 4 guys running this company at the point?
Yeah.
Give them a break, dude.
I don't have the hardcover either. I have the soft cover trade that they put out at this time or right after it, but man, that hardcover is hard to come by.
Yeah, I think I've seen pictures of it, like not just like of the actual book, and it just looks so nice. But I mean, whatever. I got the issue, so I can't really complain. It's not like I don't have a way to read it.
Yeah,
but just the collector in me. But I just think it's funny that people are always complaining. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what era, what year it is. People are gonna fucking find a reason to complain about something, even something as good as this. Like, I get it. Like the Turtles, like they get guest artists, guest creators, and goes different directions. But I don't know. I don't really see very many missteps, if any, in this run. So
no, I don't either. And in hindsight, it's cool to look at the growth and the guest artists and all that stuff. It's cool. But if you were like hooked by the gritty, sloppy style of issues 1, 2, and 3 or whatever, and then you get to this more polished stuff, you're like, oh, you guys are sold out here. You've got a cartoon now. Oh man, when are they gonna have different color masks? And...
I mean, it's funny because if they only knew that they turned down an offer from Marvel,
yeah,
so
right,
they didn't sell out. So yeah, and it's funny too, like we've been going through volume 4. Obviously you and I have been reading Turtles a long time, but the issue that we're doing too is Laird and Lawson. There is no Eastman on this one.
That's right. Yeah, it's it's totally a proto volume 4 issue, down to the creative team, the characters that are used. And then, as we were talking about before we started, the letters column is intense.
So yeah, we open up and we're at Steve's Comics.
I want to see Vampire Dinosaurs from Hell so bad.
Same. Again, this is something too, like there's no wasted space, and there's always little callbacks. We've been talking about that with Lawson, how he puts these little things in there, names and stuff. Like,
yeah, there's so much, man. There's so many deep cuts in this, so many like little write-ins and stuff in the comic shop. I love it.
And then we got, I believe it's Mikey up top, right? Yeah. It's Mikey up top. Yeah, it's Mikey up top. Because Casey says it right there. So he's going through comics, talking about Flaming Carrot and Tales of the Bean World crossover.
Yeah. Oh my God. I don't think that ever happened, but
no,
probably like wishful thinking.
Yeah, dude. And like we got we got the owner reading an issue of Justice Force, which obviously, like,
Oh yeah, that's who comes in.
you're gonna see that that's gonna play a part. And yeah, they
And
got Troll
yeah.
Lords here in the bottom.
Oh, Troll Lords. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. Albedo, which is
Uh-huh.
like the work or the like other
Anthropomorphic, right?
anthropomorphic
Yeah.
book. Yeah, Xenozoic Tales, X-Men, your
Zippy.
yeah. What does it say? What funnies? Possible future Pippi Longstocking. You got Star Trek Enterprise up there, Batman, Alien Queen, Zippy. Oh,
Oh,
Puma
yeah,
Blues.
right there in the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, look, it's I love this when they do it in comics, when they go into comic shops, because
Oh
it's,
yeah.
you think you would see it more, but you really don't see it that much.
Dude, I forgot. I wanted to point out actually at the bottom on the where it's saying the creative team, it says T-shirt designs by Ryan Brown, and that says thanks to Mike Dooney for his figure assistance. So when we get
Oh
on here to
shit.
page 3, this T-shirt design, they just
Oh
brought Ryan
shit.
Brown in to like just do the T-shirts.
Dude, I totally glossed over that. I didn't even see it. It's so tiny.
It's so tiny.
Yeah, that's pretty dope that they did that. Yeah,
Yeah, he just came in here to drop some Metallica tees.
I love it. So yeah, look, I mean, Metalhead, like, definitely like the metal hair. Like his hair, I like the way his hair is drawn in here as opposed to like what you see later. It definitely gives off more of the vibe that he's a fan of metal music, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like, so that's where that name came from versus like how he calls the other guy Metalhead. He has a metal plate in his head who
Mm-hmm.
should be called Metalhead. So there's all these kind of like in jokes, I feel like, and like spoofing, sending up the genre of like Justice League or whatever.
Obviously, some shit goes down while they're going through their comics.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, beautiful splash
Some's
page.
always gonna go down. Oh yeah. And then on this one, they just have straight up cutouts, and they have like Xerox of Giant Gila Monster and Phase and Gru and V for Vendetta, Cat, G.I. Joe, Cerebus, Crazy Cat, and Watchmen.
Pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
interesting
these,
the choices that they chose to put there, you know?
I mean, they always talk about like what was their influences, what they loved back in the day. And then again, you have some stuff down here in like the independent box. Of course, they're like cruising the independent boxes. That's so great.
Yeah, I love that. They got the 25-cent comic box there too.
Mm-hmm. And these little robot guys, they remind me kind of this character that came in this, I think it was the Zen, the Intergalactic Ninja Turtle toy line, where he had kind of like a clear dome like this and a little button on his waist to like light up his head.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember
Gosh,
that. I
can't
remember
remember.
Zen, the
Yeah.
Intergalactic Ninja, but I don't remember the toy line that much. I probably had a toy, I'm sure I
I
did.
think I only had the toy line. I don't think I really got much comics other than the one that came with the toy. Anyway, here they are battling. And they're
Love
just
this.
like, okay, I was just trying to read comics. Good thing I brought my weapons. Shagangla
I know,
throws it right
I
in.
love when they wear like this the human clothing, the trench coats and the
Yeah.
scarves and stuff, and then they just it's probably because of the movie. Like that's mostly what I associate it with. I
Oh
know they did
yeah.
it in the cartoon in the '88 cartoon, but I love when I see them out in public because like they weren't even covering their face. That's the
Right.
funny part is like you
That's what
think
I
they're not
mean.
gonna notice a green head, you know?
And 3 fingers.
Yeah.
And
And I
there's
love
probably a smell. I mean, these guys live in the sewer.
I would imagine, yeah. I mean like
Maybe they
I don't want to
shower
like
it.
make fun of them, but you know, I mean, like fish tanks have that certain smell too.
Oh
Turtle
yeah.
tanks, like you'd
And if
imagine
you've
that.
ever smelled a turtle tank, it's not great. I'm
Yeah,
sure it's different because
they
they're free
shower.
range.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they shower. Yeah,
So
I
they
don't
start
know.
to battle, and then here we see Metalhead like it's morphin time, and he
Yeah,
becomes like full costume. It's sick.
yeah, I love this. The fucking the horns. I don't think he has that in the.
Well, he doesn't,
He doesn't really
for
have that in
lack of
the
a better
movie.
term, morph in the later comics.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. He doesn't switch over. But yeah, I love this, dude. I love the shots. You don't really see like I know Lawson's inking, but you don't really see a lot of Lawson
Nah, you
in
don't.
this like you do later. You know.
Yeah, it's definitely early Lawson era here.
Yeah, because at this point he was doing the Tales books, right?
Mm-hmm. And his style was definitely different than from what we know as like the Lawson style, but
Oh, sure. Yeah.
it was still different than Eastman and Laird. But man, when he comes in for the City at War stuff, that's when he really starts to shine, and we see that style come through.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do those too.
I'm down. And then there's a
Get off of
Tales.
my Chuck.
There's one of the most expensive Tales issues too, where it comes in right in there. It's like a fourth City at War issue. Have you seen that one? I got that off the Mirage store for a cover.
Is that from Tales Volume 1?
No, from Tales Volume 2. Yeah, I got that off Mirage site for cover, and now it's worth like $300 to $500.
I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's mostly like the back end of the stuff where I didn't even know it was still being published. But
yeah, Tales 2 is pretty awesome, as you might see in our next episode. All right, cool. So here he comes. It's okay. They don't call me Stainless Steve just because my laundry's spotless. And we reveal the guy with the, that we'll meet later in Volume 4, the guy with the head.
I know, it's funny. I love that they've shaved his hair for the Volume 4.
Well, maybe he just got old,
Oh, yeah, I guess. But he doesn't look as old in Volume 4. He looks older to me here. And maybe it's because of the receding hairline. I don't know.
More detail on the face.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously, they get attacked. They find out who it is, and it is Dr. Dome.
And Casey's like, Dr. Doom? And they're like, no, Dr. Dome. So funny.
Who's this Doc Doom? Some heavy duty antisocial type. Some of the jokes in here, like, it's full like cheese ball corn.
Yeah, jokes. Casey is so cheesy. Like in this, like aggro. He's like aggro cheese on a level that no one's ever seen.
I love this right here too. I don't know.
Oh yeah, this is great. That's a great layout for a spread, especially. And then we check in on these peeps, and they're not all, like Justice League. They're not all Justice League analogs. We got a FF, we got a Mr. Fantastic type of dude, a Flash type of dude.
Yeah, dude, and it doesn't really it doesn't foretell what you're really gonna see. Like, I don't know if he comes back into it.
Yeah, he does.
He does. He's
like, sorry about my floppy arm, son. I spilled.
Oh yeah. And then here you don't really know who she is. And
right? Yeah, that's revealed.
I love this.
Yeah, that story is tragic, man. Yeah.
I mean, tragic, but also a little bit funny in terms of what the reason
what these heroes are. Yeah. Oh yeah. And then it's a lot of exposition. Peter Laird is he loves to talk about in the story, which I love,
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's laying the groundwork, because look, this is it's a one and done issue, right? Like,
exactly.
It does, eventually it has implications way down the line, but yeah, just in here we get from a beginning, middle, end. So he has to give us everything in here. Right.
It's and when people say stuff like, oh, it's an exposition dump, it's like, like you said, you got one issue, and you got a lot of story to get across. And by doing so, the characters mean more to us at the end of the story, so that when they come back in Volume 4, it's like, shit, dude.
Exactly. Man, I love this too, the way he's drawn here.
Yeah. The knuckles, the hands, all the maybe some of those Lawsonisms we're looking for, some of the early stuff.
His brain just showing.
Yeah, that's a really cool design. I feel like he comes back one other time, but I can't remember when.
Yeah, I'll have to check. But I love this too, even like getting mad at the flaming comic got
oh yeah, that's really kind of funny. Like it's really serious, and then it's like, nope. Oh, it looks like he was in the 2003 TV series too for one episode. Oh, and the 1987 TV show, like kind of like different.
Okay, but the 2003 episode was probably because they kind of loosely adapted this issue. That was probably,
that's right. Yeah,
to me, that was the most faithful adaptation of Turtles, in terms of like them going back and taking stories, because they had the Kirby, the Donatello micro series episode.
Yeah, they did the most.
Okay,
I watched this guy on YouTube, and he did a great video about the 2003 Turtles show, about how it was like, they really wanted to go against the early show. They wanted to like do something different to like catch people, make it darker and more true to the comic. So
I love that series personally. Yeah. I haven't seen it. I haven't watched it in a long time, but I remember that's how I got my little brother into it, like the newer generation, because he's 11 years younger than me, so he didn't grow up with the stuff we grew up with. Oh, yeah, but that one to me was like, one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's truer than the 89 series. I'll say it as a turtle lover, the 89 series doesn't do a lot for me as like a Mirage Run comic fan. You know,
Yeah, same here.
it's
Yeah, I mean,
kind
it
of
doesn't
goofy.
age. Doesn't age well.
No, I don't think so.
No. All right, we come outer suburbia.
Great house, Steve. These I just love these kind of like quiet moments with the turtles, how they're drawn, smiles, and we don't need all the action all the time. These are like people, real people
I
that
know.
just have to fight ninjas and robots sometimes. It's
I
awesome.
love
It's
this
like,
too. He sold the film rights to his exploits. That's how he built this
oh
house.
yeah, that's awesome. And they're like,
Yeah.
I wonder if we should do the same. And did you ever see the like deleted ending to there's like a alternate ending for the movie where they're like pitching where like Danny and April are pitching the movie rights and the turtles are outside. They're like, whoa, dude.
What is that on the
Yeah.
DVD?
It's on one of the DVDs, but I saw it on YouTube recently.
Okay, I got to check that out because I feel like I've watched the
Right.
special features, but I don't know how I would have missed that. Because I
Yeah.
have that set that they released. It was almost like a pizza box, kind of,
Oh yeah, yeah,
where
yeah.
it had 1 through 3, and then the 2007 animated.
Oh yeah. You gotta check the bone feats.
Yeah, dude. So here we go. We're checking out Zippy,
Yep.
but
They're
he's
like,
in a
someone's in
wheelchair.
there. Yeah. But guess what? This wheelchair's got uh fucking what's it called? Oh, it's got all this shit. It's like a souped up roadster, and so he's like ripping along. And I mean, this you got to think about the Flash. Like he loses his legs or whatever, his legs crap out on him, but he can still move his arms real fast.
It
And
is a cool little thing to kind of like throw in there because you have to imagine like you're putting all that work on your legs for that many years.
yeah.
They gotta. I mean, my knees hurt, and I'm not no
Oh
man.
yeah, my feet hurt at the end of every day.
Yeah,
Hey, it's just an old dude in a wheelchair. And
yeah. We
then
get a little
here,
more exposition here. Yeah.
yeah, and here comes in a little stretchy arm grabbing his Diet Pepsi, and then this is where he spills it on one of the turtles. He's like, "Don't worry, dude. Don't sweat, Mister Elastic." Another
My,
good name.
my arms still go like the Dickens.
Oh man, yeah. Some of these older
Yeah,
like kind of sayings they don't carry on.
it's funny though. I mean, like it doesn't take me out of the book, so it's fine. I love this too. Like this is where those legs that we talked about in the beginning of the issue. Captain Deadbolt, he's frozen.
Yeah, he would like turn into this like kind of concrete, like cement looking dude, and he couldn't turn back. That's crazy.
Yeah, he froze up at a John Travolta
Oh
lookalike
yeah,
contest in
it's so
1977.
funny.
So you see, like, there's like a tragicness to it, but it's also really fucking funny.
Hmm.
I also like these panels at the bottom where they're like running up the stairs. I think that's an awesome little shot they did.
Yeah, actually, sometimes, man, Ben Granoff has a word for it. There's a name for it when you draw these guys, like when you draw your characters really smaller and simpler.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, it really works here the way they do it with these kind of like concentric circles to make their faces and stuff. Looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, yeah. Every splash page that Peter does just is mind blowing.
I know.
And he really was set free on this issue. I think that's why he called back to it. And when he got his own Turtles book, he's like, these are fun characters I created.
I do think it's funny that these like robot drones from Dr. Dome, like they don't really look scary. Like they don't
Yeah,
look very intimidating, and I think that
yeah,
that's kind of like they're just carrying little maces and, and fucking axes.
yeah. I wonder if his like backstory is one of those of like toy maker gets, goes insane
Mm-hmm.
after whatever. So these would be like toys that he made, but now they're like the evil.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, we're gonna learn too a little bit more
Yeah,
about why he
I
is the
like
way he
that.
is.
And like they immediately start trying to mace Leo, and he just crunch fling till he can get out, which is great. And Casey's just always ready to kick some dome.
4. Love that, dude. He
Yeah.
fucking bashes him with the fucking
The golf club. And
this too, dude, with the fucking katana straight through 3 of them.
yeah,
A nice
Leo
little shot.
like puts him on a skewer. So
Raph.
good, man.
Raph, it's violence time.
Oh yeah, that actually made me laugh out loud last night when I was reading the. For lack of anything real, like it's clobbering time or anything, like just it's violence time.
Mm-hmm.
So funny. Here they go. And masters at action, like always so good at keeping things dynamic, making the figures seem in motion. Like, yeah, it's kind of a hard thing to do, but these guys always.
Fucking wrinkles on Dr. Dome's face right here.
That's the Peter Laird attention to detail that like so many of these, like if you look at Gobbledygook or something, like some of his pinups in there,
Yeah,
it's like so much detail. It's absolutely amazing. Curses, my domoids have failed. And you notice every time it says domoids, it says TM. I feel like that's like a tongue-in-cheek joke.
I didn't think.
I don't think it's really trademarked. And on page 23, panel 2, this long panel, it's like very Kirby-esque. Like something Kirby-esque is about to happen. If it hasn't been Kirby-esque already. And panel 4 is like.
There we go, dude.
Like, what's going on? I actually have not seen the 2003 cartoon adaptation of this, so I'll have to check it out.
I just remember the heroes part of it. I can't remember Dr. Dome, but I do remember seeing like Zippy and Stainless Steel Steve and Metalhead.
Yeah, I remember when I looked them up, it said they were in it, and I have to check it out more.
But another great double page. I love the double page spreads aren't just wasted here either. They're like poster worthy things that you could fucking hang on your wall.
Absolutely. And it makes me think of the Gizmo, or sorry, not Gizmo, I'm sorry, dude, it's a little early. The Fugitoid mini series too. There's so many of these like wooded action robot shots where they keep it rocking, And it's funny. He's like, "Who writes this dialogue? What a cornball!"
I know that
one. Same dude.
That's what made me laugh out loud.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You got Domebot trademarked again.
So good. Oh yeah, and here we go. So here's the introduction to this character. Great action, great figure work. I don't know, maybe if this is where it says like Dooney came in and helped or something, but that's a great figure.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's a great shot.
The speed lines, and she just comes in and like kicks the knee out of this thing. It drops.
Yeah,
it's great. Not even like boss action. Like it kind of reminds me of maybe like a Dr. Robotnik, like from Sonic. Now they probably got the idea off Turtles, but like she just comes in, kicks the knee out, done. Grabs old Chrome Dome or grabs old Dr. Dome out, and he's like, "I'm sorry."
Yeah, and you see like he has a different look than he's had the entire time, and he's like, "I did it to bring you out of hiding."
Yeah, Bernice.
Yeah,
not a very action hero type of name.
Definitely not. Dude.
Bernice is the old lady at Temple that I know. So it makes me originally invokes like old Jewish lady to me. But
yeah, it's definitely a name you don't hear anymore for sure. And then looks Stainless Steve's like, but that's not. And then she cuts him off and she's like, "Hey, take a closer look. What do you see? Do I look old to you?"
Yeah. Dude, I'm a kid. How could I be the same person you remember? I'm her daughter. And they're like, "You're right. You should be older. You're not beneath." I don't know why I gave him like a little kid's voice.
It sounds like what he would sound like.
I feel like he sounds like the kid from Akira, like from the original. Akira, I mean.
Ananda too is not a name that you would.
No, that's a good one. That's like what her name should be.
Yeah.
She's just like, yeah, I'm her daughter. Like people live, have lives, they die. She died 3 years ago, and he's like, "No, my life's quest is over." And he's basically like, "Now what the hell do I do?" And these heroes, they're evolved. They're, and I think this is, we're doing 3 stories today, and I think that this one and the next one both have evolved endings that prove that like these guys can write evolved stories that aren't like, "Oh, we beat him up, we won, done."
No, it's awesome. I mean, he gets a chance at redemption, and I think that just these two particular panels right here, where you see how tiny he is and stuff, and just like spotlight on him, all black behind, and he's like, "Okay, why not?" And that's like, like as most heroes, I feel like that's what their goal is, not to just put them away, but to, rehabilitate the
right, exactly. They're like, "Dude, come live with us. We'll help you like get over this hurdle, and we'll help you like become a human that can live without like vengeance driving every action in your life. And he's like, let's do it. We have a sweet little epilogue where they're reading Justice Society comic books. Yeah, man.
And then they're in the house in Northampton, which is where they all will end up. Stainless Steel Steve, Metalhead. So I think that's kind of cool. I mean, I don't think the foreshadowing was planned, but it's interesting that that's kind of how we end it.
Yeah, exactly. That's all they'll be.
And I believe this is the cover to the 5th printing, right? To number 1. I love this cover.
I think it's the first one that so maybe 4th printing, which is the first one they did after they changed sizes, right?
4th is different.
Oh, what's the 4th one?
This, which I'm kind of skipping ahead, but it's that cover. Because it even has a little note, cover to 4th printing.
Oh.
Maybe that's 3rd printing. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that says cover for TMNT number 1, 4th printing. Oh, yeah, you're right.
I love this.
Dude. Yeah, we skipped way to the back, but
yeah.
I mean, this is, and we were talking about like little homages and little things like, I mean, this is chock full of them. I mean, the bookshelf is filled like Kirby Masterworks, Dune, Reptiles You've Known and Loved, like Rock and Roll, the story of Chet Peace, all these other things.
Yeah, Zits from Space.
Yeah, I think they revisit that even too.
Megaton Man.
Yeah, the cover of
Demon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and the Mikey Micro Series cover. Oh yeah, Etrigan on the trash can. No Nukes. Alien. Oh, there's like a Thing action figure on there. Yeah. An Opus action figure. Or an Opus like stuffed animal.
Yeah, this is dope. But yeah, we'll get back to the letters. Yeah. So yeah, this is kind of what we were talking about. This is very, very similar in vein to what he was getting in issue or in volume 4. But these letters suck, dude. I had to stop reading them at a certain point.
Me too. It's
I love
it's insane.
But this is funny too. He says, for this letters column, I've decided to abandon my usual practice of editing and correcting spelling and grammar. So what we got.
Yeah, he wants them to look as dumb as they are.
Yeah, it's great. And I'm glad that he chose to do that. But some of these letters, man, like, my God, like this one, it's so irritating.
Oh, it's insane. Yeah.
And they give their full names too, dude. It's like,
yeah, it's like, I'm
trying
to beat you guys up.
Yeah.
Because then he talks and he's just like, he has a big reply, like,
yeah,
you don't like, some people like Dooney's art, some people don't. Some people, think this new Turtles is disgusting. Some other people don't,
Like, yeah, he's got 2 big responses. He's got one right here.
Yeah.
And then he's got one again right at the end.
Right. When he responds to this like mom who is mad that her 10-year-old, got these Turtles books and they're violent and there's bad language. And he's just like, dude, there's neither of those things. And he just, he goes off.
I mean, shit, if she could only fast forward through time or see some of the other stuff that was coming out. Faust was coming out around this time.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So why don't you chill out on the Turtles?
Mm-hmm.
It's not that violent.
She's like, none of them or my friends will buy your books any longer. Yeah. It's like, okay, well,
good
you
for
could
you.
have collectibles for life, but you had to care now.
And then
just like volume 4, we've got Prehistoric Pandemonium. It always says like, there's always the commercial or the ads for Lawson's dinosaur book at the end. So right here, there's another dinosaur ad, even though it's for Tales 7.
Yeah, see, these I don't have. The Tales, I have like the original trade
for
that one. I mean, which is on newsprint, which is nice because but that's how I read those. I love that the run of the original.
So good.
And I forgot about this issue too, the Eric Talbot one.
Oh my God, I could never.
This is one we got to do.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
it's absolutely one of the best. I have a few copies of the Mirage, including one signed by Eric on the cover. Remark. Oh, it's a good one. And then this is a great pinup by his
older brother.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Really interesting. Nice job, dude. Oh yeah, and here's the limited edition hardcover. I have the soft back of this, but not the hardback.
So good. Yeah, this is a great issue.
Classic.
Easy to find. I mean, at least in terms of like getting it via trade paperback. I'm thinking they might have colored it in some of the collections, but I know the Ultimate collections are out. You got the compendium that this is in there, the first one. I know there's some plans for the 40th anniversary to continue to recollect stuff in different formats, so I'm sure this will be a part of that.
Nice.
Yeah, hope you guys dug that one. Make sure you follow along. All Turtle content, got a playlist on here. called Turtle Talk. So there's interviews, there's videos on all sorts of turtle stuff. And Eli's links are going to be down below, so you can follow him on social media, Comic Launch links as well, and hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time a new vid goes up. And on that note, we're out.
Shell yeah.